What's up, everyone? This is Ken, and this is episode 5 of Gotta Watch 'Em All, version 2.0. I'll get to that in a second. I'm joined by my co-host and wife, Melissa. Hi.
Hi, friends.
Hi. So, some of you may have seen on Twitter that we actually recorded this episode 5 days ago, and I had the wrong microphone setting in Audacity.
Let's clap it up for that.
So it was a bust.
We did good.
So it actually recorded on the onboard microphone of my laptop, which is not good, instead of our Snowball. So we figured that out this time. So rookie mistake, won't happen again. Sorry for the delay. On top of the other delays that we had, because we just got back from Disney.
Yes.
Which was...
magical.
It was magical.
It was magical.
In every way. So we live in Jersey, and we were flying into a hurricane. So we were a little bit scared on the way in, and we avoided every bullet completely possible. I don't know how we did it, but it didn't slow us down one bit.
Yeah, we trekked through the rain, even though, I mean, it did rain the entire time, but we didn't get stuck.
It didn't rain the entire time.
It
rained on and off, and it was so manageable that it didn't slow us down at all. It actually made us a little bit more efficient because we were able to have some key inside time, because we were dodging the rain, so it was like...
That's true.
It worked out. It
did work out.
So Disney was amazing. And Melissa here went a little overboard with the pins.
What? I don't know. Overboard? What are you talking about?
So 2 years ago we went to Disney and Melissa got into pin trading.
Yeah.
And what we ended up doing at that trip was buy a bunch of pins, and then we were trading the pins that we had just bought, and the pins are at a premium price wise. They're expensive. They could be... I don't even know what the basic, like $7 to $15 on average. So
all the good ones are around, $12 to $15 and higher.
They're expensive. So it's like if you're buying them and trading them on the spot, it's like you better get your value on that.
Well, what we did was we bought a starter set, which came with 6 pins and a lanyard, and then I bought like 1 or 2 Alice pins because that's my girl, Alice Wonderland. And that I knew I was going to keep those, and the other ones were to trade to find more.
But
Alice
still,
ones.
You had paid a good price for that starter set.
I sure did.
But this time around, we were super prepared, and we bought a lot of 50 pins, which are pretty much, you buy them, you don't know what you're getting. It's just like a throwaway bunch, but they're all official pins with pin backs and everything. And
there was actually a couple really
there was
good
a couple
ones
keepers in there, and then we just had...
I had like 46 pins to trade.
Yeah, you kept 4.
Man,
right?
It was glorious. It was so much fun trading pins in the parks.
You ended up running out of pins to trade, so you made 44 successful trades.
And I was bummed I didn't have a couple more at the end.
Yeah, you ran out.
We did an opportunity to do it.
8-pin blind bag set from Alice. It was a 2014 set that they had out on the shelves, and we would, a perfect pull would be 4 blind boxes, which had 2 pins each, and with 5 blind boxes, you got all 8.
The entire set. Yes.
So that worked
glorious.
out. That was awesome.
It was glorious.
So she was
souped.
Yeah, you were souped. That was a successful pin experience, and then you had 44 trades.
Yeah. I've never really collected anything like that and done anything like that, and I just love the experience.
Like you never collected Pokemon cards before?
Well, not yet. Well, it's different. Like, the Pokemon cards I collected and I just kept them. Like, the pins is... You get them and you need the fun of it is finding them in the wild, kind of like Pokemon.
No, but it's so cool because the person you're trading with, the cast member in Disney, and they have a pin you want, it's no questions asked. So you win every time. So that's why it's so great.
Yeah.
They can't turn you down, even if your pin is like all jacked up. Mm. So that was awesome. Disney was amazing.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of the new Star Wars stuff was set up in Hollywood Studios. So we got to do like the Kylo Ren thing, and we saw the Star Wars fireworks,
which were incredible.
Absolutely ridiculous. It was like a light show. They did like a projection onto a building all synced with the music and lasers.
And there was fireworks going off literally all around you. So like 1 second you're looking to the left and all of a sudden you're like boom, boom, boom. And you look to your right and it's lit up a completely different color in the sky. It was really synced to the music and it was
wicked.
Yeah.
It was super cool. So we are actually here today.
Yeah.
For the second time. To talk about episode 5 of the Pokemon anime, which we just got done watching for the third time.
Yeah. The third refresher.
So this originally aired on September 14th, 1998. Today is September 15th, 2016. It's called Showdown in Pewter City. And this was a very good episode. It's starting to show a kind of trajectory for what looks like to be the rest of the season. Like Ash is starting to do the gym progression, and he ends up heading to Pewter City to get his first gym battle.
Yeah.
So the episode starts with within 1 second you're hearing the Team Rocket motto. So it starts out and you see them digging a hole, and like where Meowth is digging the hole, and as they're doing that, they break into the motto. You don't even know what's going on. Meowth is upset and doesn't do his "that's right." He's like, "Hey, why am I doing all the work here?" And we find out that they're building this ridiculous pitfall trap that they end up building too well.
Yeah, well, they built it because they know Ash and them are on their way to Pewter City. They want to try and they're still after Pikachu, and they go for building this.
It's like a pitfall.
Yeah, I guess it's a pitfall.
So they like dig a hole and they can cover it with debris and leaves and stuff, and
just as they go to cover it up, they turn around and they can't find it, and in true Team Rocket fashion, they fall into their own trap.
Yeah, it was, they're like, we covered it too well. Where is it? And whoop, they're down. So it was ridiculous. And then it just cuts away and it's back to Ash. So it's like this really ridiculous kind of Team Rocket little
setup, like bizarre setup.
And then like they're in and out. It's like, all right, we got the motto in.
Yeah.
You can pay the royalty.
God.
And then they just start, they cut over to Ash, and you see Ash and Misty and Pikachu arrive at Pewter City.
Yep, they're on the horizon of Pewter City, and they're looking out, and they're talking about how their adventure, is about to begin. And this is where they meet a stranger in the wild.
It's so weird whenever the characters are going to be meeting people, because it's hard to remember them now that they're just 10-year-olds. So it's like when they meet an adult, which they did right now, they meet this creeper named Flint. It's really weird because you forget that this is an 11 or a 10-year-old talking to, an adult. But it's so bizarre. And they meet this kind of creeper who's selling rocks as souvenirs because, Pewter City. And it's really weird. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But he notices that Pikachu is tired and banged up, and is like, "Look, follow me to the Pokemon Center." Ash tells Misty, looks can be deceiving. Look, this guy's nice. Like, let's follow him. So it's really just like 10-year-olds like following this adult that was just selling rocks.
Yeah,
it's like he's got rocks.
Yeah, he's got rocks. He's cool. Whatever, we can follow him.
But
let's trust him. He's trustworthy.
But it actually works out, and they get to the Pokemon Center. And the conundrum begins with Ash walking up to the counter and meeting Nurse Joy.
Good old Nurse Joy.
And he's like flabbergasted. He doesn't understand what the heck is going on.
Yeah, he hands his Pikachu over to Nurse Joy. And he comes to the realization, wait a second, Nurse Joy? And she goes into this great explanation. Oh, you've met my sister, Nurse Joy. She's my little sister.
Yeah, in Viridian City.
Yeah, in Viridian City. So Ash is just instantly confused, but doesn't care. Hands his Pikachu over anyway. And while Nurse Joy takes the Pikachu, she mentions to Ash, hey, did you see that post over there? Ash turns around, looks at the poster, and it's an advertisement for the Pokemon tournament.
Yep, Pokemon League. So this is like the first time we see in the anime them talk about like an actual regional Pokemon tournament. And I love this whole dynamic and this next thing that happens because it blows Ash's mind. And I remember your younger brother, Kyle, when he would be so fired up watching the show because he was, of age. I was old, when these were out still. He was so excited just about the premise of tournaments and winning and training, and so seeing this again was really cool. And you instantly see this fire in Ash's eye, like, I'm gonna rule the world, So he's got super cocky, and then your homegirl shuts him down.
I love my girl Misty, bro. She always brings it back to reality. But yeah, but Ash is just so cocky, all
he's
the time.
He's a 10-year-old boy.
So he sees the poster and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna win this tournament." Totally,
he's got 100%
moxie to the ball. I'm gonna win this tournament. And Ash is like, Misty, tells Ash that you have to have badges from 2 cities in order to compete in this tournament. And Ash, being the little punk that he is at times, turned around and was like, well, that's not a problem. And I think he implies to fighting the gym in Pewter City, right?
Yeah, and he's just he's pretty much just proclaiming that he's unstoppable and he's going to do it all by himself and he doesn't need anyone's help. He's just being a 10-year-old cocky little boy and, And you gotta remember, 10-year-old boys, I think, would just hate girls, right?
Yeah,
they just hate girls like they're skeevy,
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know.
And then in walks good old creepy Flint, and also tries to shut Ash down, and he says, what, you're gonna try to fight Brock of Pewter City? And he gives the best
it's like
laugh.
This chuckle,
it's like this weird
that's actually it right there. It's just funny because they are just kind of tag teaming on Ash, just putting him down, but
which makes him even more probably cocky and resentful that he's gonna beat him anyway.
Yep. But Misty's pissed. Misty is mad because she's offering help, and she wasn't always on Ash's side. Now she's actually offering and wanting to help, and he's rejecting it. So she's all bent out of shape, rightfully so.
Misty's offering Ash her help once again, trying to give him insight, and she says, if you want my help, all you have to do is ask nicely. Ash refuses as he's shoveling rice down his face. You can hear the chopsticks on the bowl, which I love that part. It's like ding 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 ding, and he's like, no, I'm gonna do it all by myself. Ding 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 ding, shoveling the rice in his mouth. Right?
I wish this was a video podcast.
So Misty gets PO'd, and she's like, fine. Walks out of the restaurant, and then Ash realizes he's beat for the bill, which is great.
Yeah, he's just
no, you can't leave me with the bill.
So that's hilarious.
Yeah. And then it just cuts.
It cuts to the gym.
Yeah, it just cuts to Ash all angry and ready to fight the gym.
And he kicks the door down. He's like, Brock! He just calls him out immediately. And just I'm here to challenge you.
Actually, I think he does that on the second time, because the first time he walks in and it's pitch black. The first time he walks in and it's pitch black and he's like, hello?
Yeah, but he's like, as soon as Brock comes out.
Brock is sitting there in the dark, and the lights come on, and, he's just like, are you I'm the gym leader of...
Yeah, and then Ash is just like, well, I'm Ash and I challenge you. No introduction.
True story, that's true, yeah.
No introduction. He just gets the challenge on, and I guess Brock had the foresight, seeing Ash as a young boy, saying, and he asked him, "Is this your first gym battle?"
Yeah,
and it's just you could tell that Brock, obviously he's experienced, he's the gym leader, and he's can sense that Ash is probably not ready for what's about to happen. So he asks Ash, how long have you been with your Pikachu?
Yeah. And
because he could obviously sense that something is not right here, and Ash is just like, I
don't know, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So it's clear to Brock. Right.
Yeah, Brock says to him, "There's no way that you can win this battle because your Pikachu is still in its cutest stage."
It's the cutest picture of Pikachu ever.
First they look at him and he's got his little cute Pika face, and then Brock says his cutest face, and then they go back to Pikachu and he's got this little stance and this little glistening coming off his eye. That's so cute.
That's the thumbnail of the YouTube video. So it's like the cutest little cutest shot of Pikachu ever. But Ash isn't hearing it. He wants to have the battle. He came to battle. He's ready.
Yeah, he's ready to get down.
So Brock snaps his fingers, and the entire arena kind of transforms into this rock ground, style battle area. It's super cool.
Yeah, cool.
Just transforms. He's like 2 Pokeballs. Let's do it.
Then one of your favorite parts in the episode.
So
happens.
This is one of my favorite parts. So when Brock brings out Onyx, but the style that Brock throws the Pokeball is absolutely hilarious because it's super over the top. And when he lets the Pokeball go, he goes, "Onyx, go!" It's the greatest thing ever. It's so funny the way he says it. I love it. It's hilarious. It's just hilarious. And Ash has Pikachu out. And Ash, is like, "Let's do this, Pikachu." And Pikachu sees this huge, imposing, 25-foot tall Onyx. And Pikachu is terrified.
Yeah, he's like, psych! Totally runs for cover, runs behind Ash, climbs up his leg, pulls up Ash's jacket and starts tapping on the other Pokeball.
On Pidgeotto's ball.
Yeah, he's like, nope,
nah, bro.
Nope, I ain't hearing it. And Ash is like, come on, Pikachu, you can do this, go. So he forces Pikachu back out onto the battlefield. Pikachu's, no joke, sweating bullets. Sweating.
And Brock is just
rightfully so.
He goes, Onyx, tackle, boom! And he starts just wrecking Pikachu.
Yeah.
And ultimately puts him in a bind and just has him in this, bear hug, squeezing him down. And it's
Pikachu tries to escape with a Thunderbolt. Onyx is like, psych.
It doesn't
even affect him. Ash sees that Pikachu is getting wrecked, and he tries to retreat Pikachu. So he takes out his Pokeball, and he starts trying to bring him back, but Onyx is too big, and he's blocking it. Yeah. And Ash knows that's it, he's in trouble, and he has to surrender.
Well, Brock actually asks, have you had enough?
Mm-hmm.
And Ash is like, yeah, I guess.
And then the best is the knockout bell. The
ding, ding, ding. Yeah, like Mike Tyson's punch out.
Exactly.
It's so funny. It's just like, that's it. Ash got beat. So he's super discouraged. And, he's on his own at this point because Misty's still mad at him.
Yeah.
He walks out of the gym defeated.
Yeah.
And Pikachu's hurt. Pikachu's all banged up. And Flint is there kind of waiting, creeper status again. He's waiting. He sees the state that Pikachu is in and offers to, just like, follow me. And of course, Ash being, a curious 10-year-old boy, follows the creeper, back to his cabin. When they start, he makes him some food and rests up Pikachu and,
Yeah, and Flint starts telling Ash a little bit about Brock because Ash is feeling so discouraged that he's never going to be able to defeat Brock. And Flint explains to Ash, because Ash is wondering, how come he's never moved on and done the regional tournaments himself.
Well, Flint says he's so good, right?
Yeah, and Flint explains, he can't, and shows Ash
creeper status through the window and voyeur style into Brock's house.
Yep, and they go for a little visit over to Brock's house, and they see Brock inside tending to his... Now, they say 10 little brothers and sisters, but I only counted 9.
So, she counted 9 in the first scene. I didn't pick up on it. And then there's a later scene where they show the kids, which we'll get to. And there's only 9. So, I don't know what's up with...
Maybe he's the 10th?
No, he said 10 brothers and sisters. So... Flint is like, the reason he can't leave is because he's really taking care of his 10 brothers and sisters. And they show Brock, and he's wearing, the bonnet and apron.
Which is great.
Which is absolutely
hilarious.
He
actually looks really cute in that little bonnet and apron. He turns around.
He's so
washing
sweet.
Dishes.
Yeah, he's being so sweet. Yeah. No problem, children. Everyone's so happy.
I'll sew up your little teddy bear. No problem.
So that's really funny, but now this kind of has this effect on Ash, and he's like, "Oh, now I feel bad, beating him. How could I have the heart to challenge him again and beat him?"
Which takes Flint by surprise because Ash said, he doesn't think that he can ever beat him, and he was going to give up.
And Ash mentions that he wishes he had a way to power up Pikachu so he could have an advantage over Brock, and Flint,
He's so weird, man. Flint winds up saying, "I have a way."
And it's cut to who's that Pokemon? And it's Onyx.
Of course.
So the creeper status continues hard here. So we find out, now it's getting dark, right? And we find out that Flint is taking Ash to a abandoned hydroelectric pump on the riverbank, and it's just like in the middle of nowhere. And Ash is like, "What is this place?" He's like, "Oh, it's a hydroelectric pump." Power plant. It's absolutely bizarre. And Flint,
I'm just looking at it like Flint is just taking Ash to a crack house in the middle of the woods.
He sells rocks.
Yeah, to power up his Pokemon.
So Flint has the idea to hook Pikachu up to this power plant, start creating power from the power plant, and inject it into Pikachu through probes on his red cheeks. So it's ridiculous. And he's like, "Oh yeah, but the river is dry." So this power plant has this, the hydro power plant. It's like a water wheel, and without any water, it can't turn and can't make any power. So it comes down to Ash having to get on this water wheel and climb it like a ladder, doing like the step machine to keep this thing going. And lo and behold, it starts generating power, and Pikachu's getting juiced up.
They are juiced. All right, so Ash is on the outside of the house, and he's walking on the water wheel, and poor Pikachu is on the inside, and they got him hooked up to the probes, and Flint is prepping. I'm telling you, this scene is messed up.
Flint's like, "Yes, Pikachu, yes."
No, he's prepping him. He's just like, "Now, Pikachu, we're going to go slow because it takes a while,
First one's free."
Oh my god, it's terrible.
It's so funny. It's so good.
He has to prep Pikachu. He's just like, you have to get used to the power. And then they show Ash start walking on the water wheel and generating electricity. Now, in comes my girl for a second, just for a moment. Good old Misty comes in and drops the bomb. Doesn't have to be this hard. I could still help you. What does Ash do?
He's a jerk. He's a jerk little kid. Yeah. He's a jerk little kid. So everyone who's a parent or an older sibling that has ever dealt with a 10-year-old boy. So it's just so perfect. He's just like, "Get off me."
Yeah. I
got this. I'm going to become the best. And he's like, Veruca Salt style. He's like, "I'm going to be the best Pokemon trainer, and I'm going to do it with a Pokemon that I train all by myself." And he's just like super cocky. And Misty, again,
storms
off. And under her breath, this is a crucial statement. She says,
it would have been much easier if you used my Pokemon too.
So now, I took this two ways. So I was kind of thinking, well, is she talking about using like Staryu to do like water gun and power the wheel that Ash was going on? Or she would actually let Ash use her Pokemon in battle against Brock.
That's what I think, because I think she knew all along that rocks are...
Right, the water type will have the advantage, but I don't know that I would have to ask Brock for the regulation rules of, borrowing a Pokemon, like that's not yours. Yes. The RFID tag in that Pokemon is not registered to you as the trainer.
Yeah.
You have to share ownership. So...
joint custody.
Right, so Misty storms off again, and by this time... Pikachu is like tweaking hard, like he's gritting his teeth and getting electrocuted, and it's like painful to watch.
Yeah, and Flint's trying to get him just a little bit more, just a little bit more, just a little bit more.
Pikachu peaks.
He totally.
He goes like supernova, like so. Pikachu just like sprays thunderbolts in every direction.
Yeah.
Through this like hydroelectric pump, they show like this really long shot, and you have these electric blast.
The whole
flying
house
out the whole thing.
Is covered in bolts.
And now, like, Pikachu just got like a major jolt of performance enhancing juice.
Yeah.
So he's all juiced up. He returns to the gym immediately, because he's got this jacked up Pikachu.
Yeah, because he was up all night long.
He was up
all night long juicing up his Pikachu. And they roll into the gym. I mean, he like literally kicks the door down. It's like, Brock!
Oh my god. I'm sorry if you're wearing headphones. She's getting excited.
It was a good episode.
I almost did a spit take on the laptop. She's just like calls out Brock. And, he's like, let's do this. Now, mind you, Pikachu's walking next to him, and Brock sees the Pikachu, and he's just like, Pikachu again. Like, because not long ago, he just had his Onyx, totally mac up Pikachu. But he's ready to go, and he's like, look, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna have this battle, and let's get it on. This part is super awesome to me, because it's my favorite Pokemon of all time. But Brock pulls an awesome Geodude go! And plays Geodude, which Geodude is my favorite Pokemon since Gen 1. And always just, even in Pokemon Go, like, I am all about the Geodude, so I love me some Geodude. And Ash plays Pidgeotto.
Yes.
So, Ash being inexperienced, of course, doesn't realize that Flying type is weak against Rock, and that's it.
Yeah,
it was a bad move, and they show like the gust attack being ineffective against Geodude, and Geodude just kind of like throwing punches, getting Pidgeotto back on his heels, just kind of like controlling the situation. And then Brock like mocks Ash, saying, don't you know flying types are weak against rock types? Ash is embarrassed, immediately calls back Pidgeotto and plays Pikachu, and This is a great little thing, because Brock is the one acting cocky now, because he's knows that it's just this Pikachu again, but little does he know that it's Pikachu's
been up all night getting rocked.
so Pikachu uses Thunder Shock and completely toasts Geodude, like turns Geodude into a burnt, crispy, just fried rock, and he just boom crashes to the floor. It's absolutely hilarious. It's like a super like classic cartoon when someone gets shocked,
and he's completely petrified on the ground.
Like
that's
petrified.
The best part. You can tell his eyes are all like derped out.
Brock calls back Geodude. He's like, what the heck is going on with this Pikachu? And plays the Onyx again. So now it's Onyx against Pikachu. Now Pikachu sees the Onyx and pees his pants a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
he's still...
he's super intimidated, and he lets out this crazy thunder shock that was kind of like when he was charging up in the hydro plant. Like, it's just like all these thunderbolts going in every direction all over the place, and Ash even has to say, like, Pikachu, control yourself, and, because he didn't command an attack. He's like, but now use, you can control yourself and use thunder shock.
But before he gets a chance to do that, Onyx goes in for the grab and starts binding onto Pikachu.
So it's like a do-over of the last battle.
Yeah, and so Ash tells Pikachu, go ahead, do your Thunder Shock now. And Pikachu starts letting it out, and it's working for a minute.
You hear Onyx like kind of in pain. So Onyx is getting it.
But Brock goes ahead and calls him out and says, Onyx, bind him. Yeah. And Onyx pulls through and just starts
wrenching on Pikachu again. And Pikachu ends up running out of energy, stops the Thunder Shock, and it's literally, a replay of last time where poor Pikachu is just getting the bear hug.
Yeah, he's getting squeezed out.
And this time around, though, Brock is the one who calls off Onyx and says, Onyx, stop, because he knows that he doesn't want to hurt Pikachu, but he's proven that he's won this battle, whether Ash is going to tap out or not.
Yeah.
So Brock shows the heart on that side.
But in the meantime, we had a side effect from Pikachu's crazy electric.
When he peed his pants.
Yeah, when
he got scared. He got scared when he saw Onyx. He was like, ah! And
I'll just let it flow.
Yeah.
And he actually set the roof on fire, which caused the sprinkler to go off.
Yep.
Which caused Onyx to get wet. And Misty at this point is in the balcony and she's watching the match along with some of Brock's little brothers and sisters.
6 of them at that point.
Them, yeah. And calls out at that point. She just can't contain it herself anymore because she's been offering her help the entire time and now it's here. So she calls out, Ash, rock type are weak against water type.
Yeah, water makes the rock types weak. Now, mind you, that when Brock calls off Onyx, Pikachu kind of slides down Onyx's body limp onto the ground with the famous Pokemon I'm knocked out eyeballs.
Yeah, swirly eyes.
So Pikachu is done. Pikachu is done. Like, that should be a knockout. In my eyes, it was like a knockout.
Agreed. He was swirly eyed and he was on the ground. But Ash didn't withdraw Pikachu.
So?
And Ash said he wanted to continue the battle.
Right,
so,
but if Pikachu's knocked out, you can't fight with a knocked out Pokemon.
But they didn't agree that the battle had ended.
I don't know. It was crazy. But poor Pikachu is all jacked up, and Misty's like, what are you waiting for? This is your opportunity.
And Ash goes ahead like a nasty boy just after he was shown some mercy by Brock. Ash turns around and completely thundershocks Onyx and pretty much sneak attacks.
It was dirty.
It was dirty.
It was dirty boxing.
Yeah.
So because Brock had withdrew out of sympathy and and care for Pikachu's well-being.
Yeah.
And
Ash just turned around and pretty much was like,
oh,
I can't
thanks,
say
bro.
it. Yeah, I want to say so many things, but I can't.
Got to get that clean rating.
I know.
But shocks the heck out of, Onyx. And then in that moment, while the shock is going through, he kind of has the moment of clarity. And in his head, he has like a flashback to 10 seconds ago when Brock, called off Onyx to take care of him. Yes.
No, he gives Onyx one crazy thunderbolt.
Right.
And then he's about to finish him off. He puts his hands up and he's about to finish him off. He's just like, all right, Pikachu, let's end this. And he puts his hand up to give one last thunderbolt. And all of a sudden, this is such a great scene. Ash stops and says, I can't go through with it. My conscience is stopping me. And he says, I feel like I can imagine Brock's brothers and sisters stopping me from defeating their beloved brother's Pokemon. And what does Misty do?
Misty's like, Ash, open your eyes, and
brings it back to reality.
Brings it back always. Yep,
that's my girl.
It's your girl. And there's actually all of Brock's little siblings are hanging off of Ash, saying like, "No, stop!" And then Brock gets mad. He's like, "Look, this is a sanctioned battle here. What are you guys doing? Get out of here!" And it comes from the little siblings. Like first, the little girl is like, Brock, we care. We know you care about your Pokemon so much. And then the little brother says, "We didn't want to see Onyx, take another hit."
Yeah.
So it's like in this whole family, there's obviously this kind of moral, direction about Pokemon and taking care of them and
just and loving them
and stuff like that.
Level,
right?
Yeah.
Like who cares about this being a battle? Think of the Pokemon, which I thought was really cool.
And then Ash realizes what he's doing, and that's when he has the flashback.
Yeah.
In his mind of Pikachu laying there all limp and the fact that Brock had given him that opportunity to not have his Pokemon hurt anymore.
See, you brought me back to reality.
Yeah.
See?
And, I love that part because Ash then withdraws Pikachu and says, the battle's over, I'm gonna come back another day.
But Brock is like, no, we're gonna finish this. So Brock is upset, and I don't know.
Ash still says, no, this wouldn't be a fair match. I'm going to come back and beat you another day.
Well, yeah, he's cocky.
On my way.
On my way. Well, he says, like, the sprinklers were a fluke, I'm going to beat this on my terms.
Yeah.
So he was still a little cocky.
He was still a little cocky, but he did, say, this wouldn't be a fair win anyway, even if I did finish it. So I'll come back another time. And he leaves the Pokemon gym. He's bummed out because of what happened. He starts making his way towards the next city. And as he's walking...
That's when Brock chases after them and is like, Ash, 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 you forgot something. Holds out his hand, and it's the Pewter City gym badge. And Ash is taken back and says, like, why are you giving this to me? I didn't beat you. And, Brock gets, all sentimental and is like, look, you beat me in battle and you beat me in, caring for Pokemon, showing sympathy for Pokemon. He's just like, so you deserve this, and gives him the badge.
But he had some stipulations in giving him the badge.
He did have some steps.
He explained to Ash that even though he was the gym leader, he didn't really care about battling Pokemon. All he really cared about is breeding, and how his true
he wanted to raise
dream
Pokemon
was to become the world's best Pokemon breeder. So he gives the badge and tells Ash, please, I can't leave this town. Please go out and fulfill my dream. And Ash is taking the badge, and he's like, yes.
He's like, I got you, which is ridiculous because Ash isn't on a mission to become a Pokemon breeder.
Yeah. He wants to be the best trainer. So he totally would have played Brock out, 100%. But good old thing, Creeper Flint was hanging somewhere in the background.
He was watching from the bushes.
Yeah, because he just pops out of nowhere and stops Ash and Brock in mid-conversation and says, no, Brock. You must go fulfill your dream.
You do that too good, you creep. And he's like, well, what are you talking about? He's like, it's time for you to go on your adventure and for me to take care of things. And reveals that he pulls off the creeper beard and pulls off the Scully, and it's just like an older version of Brock. And it's like, my father. So it's like this Darth Vader reveal,
Yeah. Oh, and we totally forgot to mention earlier that in one of their earlier conversations that Flint mentions to Ash that Brock's father is a no good,
good for nothing
guy that left his family to try and become the world's best Pokemon trainer and failed.
Yes. And during this, never came back. And then during this scene, once he's revealed and Brock says, my father, Ash is like, wait a minute, you're the good for nothing guy who left your family and never came back? And he's just like, yes.
Yep.
He owns it. But that comes out and, he says, look, I'm going to take care of the kids. You go on your way. And Brock is like, don't gotta tell me twice. Yeah, and just he's like, okay.
Well, then I have to tell you something. Brock's father says, I'm sure you have a lot to get off your chest. And the only thing Brock has to say is, Susie likes spaghetti for breakfast. The twins can't go, they sleepwalk.
Yeah, he pulls out like a spool of thread and a pin, like, get ready to sew, sucker.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So it ends on this, ha 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 ha, and off they go. And, it cuts to commercial, comes back, you see Ash and Brock walking along. And Brock is thanking Ash, like, thank you so much for letting me come on your adventure with you. Mm. And Ash is like, oh yeah, well, it's no problem, more the merrier. It's so nice to have someone to talk to.
I know.
And the camera pans out, and Misty's like walking 10 feet behind them.
Yeah, Brock looks over his shoulder and he goes, well, what about that girl that's been following you?
And Misty's like, yo, I'm still trying to get my bike back. Yeah, I'm going to follow you as long as it takes till I get my bike back. And then Ash pulls the best move.
He
turns to Pikachu, and he's like, oh, let's try to lose her. They try to,
that's
take off.
That's exactly what he says to me. So, he goes, oh, come on, Pikachu, let's try and lose her. And they start running down the street.
It's hilarious. It's great. And now Misty's chasing after them, and they cut, down the path like 100 feet. And from the ground with like this crazy like drill buzzsaw thing, up from the ground comes Team Rocket.
Yeah, literally straight up out of nowhere.
So,
it's just like, do.
There they are.
There they are.
And they're like, James is like, look, I told you I would get us out of this. And they just happen to be in the path of Ash and Brock and Pikachu running from Misty. And they just trample. They get trampled right on top of them. And Ash and them doesn't even realize that they're even there. And they just trample over their faces and they get stepped on, and it's like, have a nice day.
Yeah. And the episode's over.
And the episode is Dunskies.
So it was good.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was a good introduction to Brock, and I loved how they're now the trio is formed.
Right.
And I can't wait to watch the next episode. Actually.
Yeah, the next one's going to be good. I agree. It's nice that the trio is together, and it's gonna be on from here. That being said, a couple other things I want to talk about. I am going to be filming tomorrow and Saturday for a bunch of card unboxings. I have a Pikachu EX Red and Blue Collection box with has the 4 Generations boosters in it, the Pikachu toy and Pikachu promo. I have a Pokemon Generations Elite Trainer box, which was awesome because I was able to price match that at Target from Amazon, price match Amazon. And what else do I have? I have Victini Mythical Collection and the Arceus Mythical Collection. So I'm going to do those 2 together in a video. So I have 3 unboxing videos that I'm going to be filming that should be out no later than midweek next week, which will be, last week of September. So a lot of cool unboxings coming. Tonight at midnight, and I hope, this is going to be yesterday for when this podcast comes out. But Pokemon Go Plus comes out tonight. At midnight, there are NBA 2K17 launch parties at GameStop, which means that GameStops are going to be open after midnight tonight, and you can go get Pokemon Go Plus.
Yeah.
So,
I hope.
So I didn't reserve it. Now, I didn't reserve it for a reason that I regret. I'm the kind of person that kind of loves the hunt of shopping and trying to find things and that whole process. So I was like, pre-ordering is so 2015, as Josh from Toy Store Games would say, and I was just like, I'm throwing caution to the wind. I'll be fine.
I'm gonna go for it.
I'm gonna go for it, and I clearly made a mistake because Pokemon Go became very popular. The pre-orders went up so long ago before the game came out. I think at E3, but it's, as it turns out, my local GameStop has a couple extras non-reserved that I'm going to be able to snag tonight at midnight, so I am fired up right now.
I just hope you can grab more than one.
No, I'm going to grab that. I'm a good customer there. Like, they know me, and that's where I buy a lot of cards, so...
If they say no, you just call.
We'll swap
up. Yeah, you wake me up and
you go back.
I'll go back. Yeah.
But so I'm really excited. So we're definitely going to be. We just have the ability now. Melissa and I just purchased new phones. I am of the iPhone persuasion. I got an iPhone 6s Plus, and Melissa just picked up a Galaxy S7.
I love it.
So we are going to be doing some cool dual screen Pokemon Go streaming and Pokemon Go videos. So that's going to be coming in the future. We're really excited for that, and we're definitely going to be covering the Go Plus and how that works and all that. So I'm really excited for that. Now, the plugs are out of the way. We don't have 2 packs tonight. Because I'm doing all these unboxings, I didn't want to spoil it like I usually do and open up a box just to get to boosters. So I had 1 loose booster, 1 Steam Siege booster, and I want you to open it.
Of course you do.
And you're going to get a good card.
No, I'm not going to get a good card. I'm going to get a bunch of baloney, and I'm just going to get a double of something that
You're hurting my
have.
feelings. You're hurting my feelings.
No, I'm not hurting your feelings. I'm just being real. I'm being real because this is my
you
Pokemon life.
You hear how half empty, her glass is right now? That's like, because
this is my
life.
This is my Pokemon life.
This is my life in general.
I get good Pokemon on the radar, and
she's playing Pokemon Go right now. In the house. Like, where are you going?
Well, I just caught a rat, so.
All right, three to the back.
3 to the back. 1, 2, 3.
All right, here we go, peoples. Let's see how it goes.
We start with Trainer Ninja Boy. Hopefully I pronounce these right because...
I hope you pronounce them wrong because that's fun.
No, thanks. Thank you. Fun for you. I'm glad. And over it, I'm going to pronounce them real slow. So if I do pronounce them wrong, it's even better. Pokemon Trainer Ranger, Joltik, Tangela, Pawniard, Oshawott, Nidoran, and then I have Reverse Hollow Clink, and my rare is a Pro Bowl Pass.
He's awesome.
He's awesome, actually.
He looks like Mario.
Yeah, sort of. He's like a stone Mario with like a good old mustache.
So, if this is the first time or hearing us or you didn't know, we are but those are good cards. We were Gen 1 Pokemon trainers and players. So with there being, now over 750 Pokemon, we are still experiencing Pokemon for the first time.
Yeah.
When we buy these new expansions because, we were distant from the franchise for a lot of the middle years. So a lot of those, generations there and, 5 years ago and stuff, 10 years ago even, we weren't front and center with. So it's like, I still get excited because... I've never seen that guy before.
Yeah, I've never seen him before too, and he's got a big old nose and mustache. He's really cute, and he's got like a Lego top head.
Yeah, he's
cool.
That's really cool. I'm excited for him.
Yeah.
So sometimes good art and a cool looking card can prevail over pulling an EX.
Yeah. No, not really.
I was almost there.
Because I'm distracted by looking at the card.
He's awesome though. He's got a mustache.
Yeah, it ain't an EX though.
All right. So thank you guys. They're going to wrap up this episode now. A couple of quick shout outs. Seth Hay. Check out SethHay.com. Seth Hay. He's an amazing designer and artist, and he works with a lot of really cool people in the gaming space and elsewhere. And he just does amazing work. He did our website and logos, and we're very indebted to him. So thank you so much, Seth. You can check him out at SethHay.com. And then I want to say what's up to Chipocrit, who provides the music that you're going to hear at the beginning and end of the episodes. You can check him out at Chipocrit.com. His album Wordplay is available there and on iTunes. Also want to make sure you guys know we do have that YouTube channel. We're trying to build that up. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff on Instagram coming up soon. And we have a Patreon page. We now have a Patreon page that you guys can support us. You can throw us $1 a month. We give you a reward. And it's going to be another community that we're just going to try to build, sidebar that we could do some cool exclusive stuff with. So I'd appreciate it if you checked it out. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
So we're going to be recording episode 6 in 2 days.
Yes.
And I want to go heavy on Pokemon Go because there's a lot of new updates and things about that, and I want to talk about all the Sun and Moon stuff. So the next episode is going to be a little bit more focused on the games now that we're getting it back on schedule and caught up. So I'm looking forward to that. So you'll hear that in a couple days too.
Alrighty then.
All right. Word up, people. Thank you.
Thanks, friends.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. You got to say peace. We always say peace.
Peace out.
Weirdo.